What's going on, everybody? It's Top Bets. We're checking back in. We got our week 16 best bet show coming at you guys here live on YouTube, Twitch, and X. So if you guys are on either one of those platforms, show me some love. Throw a comment in the comment section. Let me hear from you guys. Would love to hear from you guys today. We get after it with our week 16 best bets. As always, this is powered by Occupy Fantasy. And I don't know anybody else in the industry who would recommend playing Pickens last night and Gabe Davis, and they both smashed. So shout out to Brian and all the guys at Occupy. They absolutely smashed the slate last night, had the high risk projections on point. And I think we're going to follow that again this morning. So kudos to those guys at Occupy. Make sure you guys check those guys out, occupyfantasy.com. I will have my referral link below. Make sure you guys sign up. All right. If this is your first time checking me out, appreciate you guys tuning in. We've been here all season long at 9 in the morning. Just giving out spreads, totals, and some player props, some anytime touchdown plays. Overall for the season, we're 58 and 47 plus 15.69 units. So very, very solid year. Look to build on that number this week. And I know as some of you guys are in the fantasy semifinals, as am I in both my leagues. So we're going to have an extra sweaty Christmas Eve. I know some of you guys have a church to go to today or whatnot, but yeah, I'm going to be sweating them out. So it's going to be a good day. Going to be a good day. Make sure you guys, if you have any start sit questions for that, let me know. I do have one. I think I'm still going with one person, but I'm almost trying to go Calvin Ridley over Devontae Smith. I don't know if I should or not. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I have Jalen Hurts, so I've rode that Devontae stack for a little bit, but Calvin's in a great spot. So don't know what I should do. I'm probably more than likely leaning with Devontae, even though he's got that knee injury. But let me know in the comments. Daddy Mufasa, what's up, man? David Montgomery, anytime touchdown bounce back. Ooh, I like it. He almost made the parlay at the end. He almost did. I went with one of his other teammates, but I can't go with anything other than David Montgomery there. I'm totally fine with that. No problem with the Montgomery. I think he's like plus 100, plus 110 around the industry. So don't mind that. You get some good value there. All right. So let's first talk some DFS stacks. My favorite stacks of the week, some favorite plays. And for the most part here, I'm probably the biggest takeaway I think I'm going to do is I'm going to totally fade this Dallas-Miami game. And it's kind of scary. I don't know if that's the right way to go about it, but I think I'm just going to go one-to-one stack. If I could put Lamb and Tyreek in a lineup, but I have some cheaper stacks, I can go that route. Or you go Waddle, or you go the run game, Mostert, HN, or Lamb, or Pollard. So it's just a different scenario. I think that stack is too expensive to make sure to get it right on this slate. So my top stack is actually, I'm going to go to that Tampa Bay Jacksonville game. Like that game a lot. You can stack it either which way. I'm probably going to stack it the Tampa Bay side because I think you can just bring it back with either Evan Ingram or Ridley. But like I said, I do not mind either route. You still have a 43.5 point total, which is not bad. It's been going up throughout the week with the Trevor Lawrence news. So you could always stack, Baker coming off of his his historic Lambeau perfection, which nobody in the industry saw. I like that game. I talked about stacking that game, but I was stacking Green Bay side 100%. Other stack that I like as a sneaky play, which also tails to one of my picks upcoming. We're gonna go to the Dome game, the Browns Texans game. It's just a sneaky game. I think both teams have put up a lot of yardage last several weeks, and now they play each other. That total's creeping up. It was in the high 30s. It's going up as high as 40. I've seen on some books, so I like that game. I'm going to stack more of the Flacco side, which is absolutely insane. You're going to stack Flacco, Cooper, and Joku, or if you want to run it back, you have Elijah Moore, and then run it back with Nico, run it back with Noah Brown. You got a lot of options there. I know it's Case Keenum and not CJ Stroud, but Case Keenum is a solidified backup. He's been in the league forever. He knows what he's doing. So don't mind this game whatsoever. And then the final one, and this one's going to be it's tough, but you got to only go the Seattle side. So it's Seattle, Tennessee, 42-point total. You got Geno Smith versus Ryan Tannehill. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go Lockett or Metcalf or JSN and then bring it back with only Hopkins. I can't trust Burks. I can't trust anybody else on that Titans team. I'm not going to come back with Henry. It's probably a great matchup for him. It was a great matchup last week for him, but then he absolutely was a shell of himself. I think he's the first player in NFL history to have 20 plus touches and less than 20 scrimmage yards. So it was absolutely insane. So you could always think for a bounce back on Derrick Henry. I'm going to go with Hopkins, and they have some, as Occupy always has, they have their underperforming wide receivers. They have plenty of them in that game. It's a great spot to get right there for the Seattle offense that came back on the Eagles. So those are my top stacks. Overall, the slate is, I think it's pretty straightforward. You got some cheaper running backs in Chandler, Singletary, and Hubbard that can allow you to get to those expensive wide receivers like Lamb, Tyreek, and you can get up there with Evans. And then you have the Lions-Vikings game. That's another game I don't know if I could truly get to. That game scares the absolute, heck out of me because Goff has got so bad of numbers against a Brian Flores defense. And I know they've played three games against them, or he's played 3 games against them, and not with the Lions team, which, skews the data a little bit, but he hasn't scored more than 10 points in each of those games. So there's something about this Flores defense that gets to Goff. Maybe we see it, maybe see a little bounce back here from Goff. But if I did lean any side there, I would probably lean the Lions. But man, it's tough to. So I'm just going to pick and choose some of that with Amon-Ra. You can play Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery, like we said before, and then you can bring it back with Jefferson, Addison, Hockenson. I mean, there's tons of names. I just don't think it's a good stack overall. Crazy to say, with it's the second highest total, but the one thing on that Miami game, it's that total was up at 51.5. Now it's down to 48. I think there is some wind and weather going on there, but not. I just can't get to it. The expensive weather, anything to kind of get away from a chalky stack, I'm okay with that. Alrighty, let me know what you guys are on elsewise for DFS. If you guys have any wide receiver long shots, running back values that I maybe not have said, but we'll get right into the picks. So we'll be here for another 15 or so minutes. And if you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat. All right, so the first play we're going to go with a nice bounce back spot. And I love fading this horrible team. I really think the Carolina Panthers are the worst football team ever assembled. They're horrible. They're absolutely terrible. So I'm going to go with the Packers. Packers 3.5. Besides Arthur Smith absolutely just being incompetent last week and not understanding how to win a football game, he lost the football game with the Panthers not even scoring a touchdown. It was just maddening to watch. The whole industry was absolutely just just pissed. Could not believe it. So I'm going back to the well here. We're going to go Packers -3.5. This is as high as 4 on some books. I got this over on FanDuel. So make sure you guys get that 3.5. If you want to buy down to the 3, I do not care. I just think this is going to be a touchdown or above game for the Packers. This offense, plain and simple, is I think it's lethal. I think when they has everything rolling, you got Jones back. Dillon should be back in some capacity. They are missing Watson. Reed will be back. Wicks will be there. Dubs. I mean, I like this Packers team, and anytime I can fade this Panthers team, I will 100% do that. So Packers 3.5, great bounce back, great sell high. moment for the Panthers. I don't know how this line isn't more towards the 6. Maybe because they don't want people to tease it down, and maybe the Panthers surprise me. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take my chance here. Let's go Packers 3.5 on the road in Carolina. Preface this a little bit earlier with the stack. I'm gonna go back to the Houston Dome, and I'm gonna go with the over here. The Browns Texans over 39.5 over on FanDuel for a unit. Um, Probably not a game that I normally would target for an over. But when you look at both of these teams, I know the Browns defense has been really good, but they've given up a lot of yards. And luckily, they've had some good red zone defense luck on their end, some turnovers in there, which I think can turn into points with this Texans team. Coached a lot better than most out there, and with Case Keenum, he still has all of his weapons. Nico, he still has Noah Brown, Singletary. You still have Pierce there, who's around, can help get down the field there. And then this Browns team, Joe Flacco, man, he's it's like 2008 again. And Flacco with Cooper connection has been lethal, and Joku has been lethal. Both of these teams score or produced 340 plus yard games last week, and both of them just did not have the point total. So I think the offenses are there. Next is just to score. I think this is a good matchup. No weather issues here in the dome. Give me Browns Texans over 39.5. Over on FanDuel. This is as high as 40 at some other books, so make sure you guys get it over on FanDuel. And as always, we give the 7-point VIP teaser. And if you want all my plays, NBA, college football, MLB, NFL, the rest of them, make sure you guys hit that link below. Join the Discord. I have a special running for 50% off Xmas 50 at checkout. You get 50% off any of my packages. So make sure you guys look at the link below. We're going to go Colts plus 9.5. I think you can get this at plus 10 now. I've seen some plus 3s out there. Cardinals plus 9, Vikings plus 10, 7-point teaser, plus 130 for 1.5 units. We smashed the 2-unit one teaser last week. I think these are great spots for both of these teams. I honestly could see all 3 of them winning outright. But if that's the case, low totals. I like to go teasing them up. The Colts with no Pittman. That one stung. I took this one before the Pittman news, but the line didn't change much. So I still think that this Colts team can beat this inept Falcons coaching staff. The Falcons have a lot of talent, but they're going back with Taylor Heineke. They've gotten rid of Ritter. And I just think the Colts are a better team. Can see them winning this game outright, especially keeping this game within double digits. So give me some Colts here. The Cardinals, same thing. This Cardinals team, it battles. So we've seen this line actually come down to plus 3.5 at some books. I've had it at plus 4, and it's a great spot, I think, to tease up. Make sure that I don't think this Bears teams can blow anybody out. And the way that this Cardinals team operates, they're going to run the ball with James Conner. Should be able. And I know this Bears defense has been pretty stout against the run. You also have Trey McBride to get the ball down the field. Marquise Brown is out, but they have Rondale Moore. I think Dortch is back, but I like Murray extending the plays as well with his feet. So Cardinals plus 11, and then that Vikings game. So the Vikings, this one's gone down. So this one's gone from plus 3 to plus 2.5. So you can make sure you guys get the plus 3 if you can out there, but to teasing them up. So Vikings plus 10. And I just think this is like a playoff game for both of these guys. The Lions, they win the division. Vikings lose, they're out of the playoffs for the most part, I think. So I think the Vikings come all hands on deck. Kevin O'Connell will have every single thing dialed up. Flores should get the pressure on Goff. I just don't think this should be a blowout. So reasons for a couple of those guys. I know there's 2 road teams, 1 home team. We're going to tease up. We're going to go Colts plus 9.5, Cardinals plus 11, Vikings plus 10. Sweet dog, how's it going, man? Browns win straight up. Oh yeah, I almost took them for the stream. I like the -3 here. I thought that was pretty giving, but but I just feel like the total is a little bit better in my opinion. But I do not have a problem with the Browns winning this game. I think they're the clear favorite. That the Texas team just scares me with how well coached they are, especially on the defensive side. But Flacco, I think with his what he's been doing lately indicates a lot of the defensive formations that he's been seeing. So it's pretty crazy. But I'm going to go with the over, but I do not mind the Browns winning this game straight up. Alrighty, so we got our 3 spreads, or 1 spread, 1 total, 1 teaser. Now we got our 3 props. So before we get into that, let's show you guys, if you guys have not tuned in to the stream before, we got the OccuProp radar over on Occupy Fantasy's website, occupyfantasy.com. And this is the simplest tool it is to use in the industry. You go to Occupy Fantasy's website, go to the betting tab, click OccuProp radar, and you can search for any person, any sport, and all of their live odds are up, and you can simply click bet now anywhere. So, and you can get their deposit bonuses if you're in a legal sports betting state. So make sure you guys check out those from Occupy. But yeah, we're going to go the first play here. First play, we're going to go Sam Laporta over 4.5 receptions. So we're going to go down to the Occupy radar, click receptions. And as you see, it's 4.5 across the books. Across the books, we got FanDuel at -120. So that's the one we're going to take. I've prefaced this before. You got a lot of pressure on Goff in this game with the blitz that Brian Flores puts together. So there's just not enough time. So I think Jamison Williams is going to have a very tough game. You think Josh Reynolds is going to have a tough game. It's going to suit up to be a Laporta, a Monroe game, dunks down to Gibbs. I think Laporta has been the safety blanket for Jared Goff all season long, especially lately. He's gotten 5, 9, 2, and then 5 receptions, and on an average of 7, around 8 targets per game in the last 4 games. So he's hit this in 3 of his last 4, and I think Sam Laporta, he might be the best tight end in the game. I think with Kelsey, I mean, obviously Kelsey's production going down a little bit, but Laporta is a stud and a beast. Over 4.5 receptions here against a blitz-heavy package from Flores. I think Goff gets the ball out of his hands quick. You can go with the Monra, but with the Monra, you're going to get a little bit more juice. I think it's 5.5 for St. Brown. Where's he at? Actually, sorry, he's 7.5. So, which he hasn't hit in 3 straight games. So I know they prefaced last week a lot to get Monra the ball up and early, and he ended with 7. So Laporta is their go-to guy, their safety blanket. So go here, 4.5 receptions, -120 over on FanDuel. A little bit of juice, but not too bad. Okay, let's bring up the next play for the OccuProp. We're going to go back to the Browns game. I think I've talked about the Browns more on this stream than I have all season long. Don't know why. Just like the matchup today. And we're going to go Amari Cooper over 60.5 receiving yards. I almost took Dak completions, but from the way that total is going down and just the atmosphere of that game, I switched off. But I'm going to go with Amari Cooper over 60.5. Let's bring up the OccuProp radar once again. Total receiving yards as high as 61.5 over on FanDuel. We got 60.5 across the board. Otherwise, I took that over on BetMGM here, -115. And Cooper has been a stud, especially with Flacco. He's got a 27% target share with Joe Flacco. They've built up a huge amount of chemistry. 77 yards 2 weeks ago, 109 this past week against Chicago. And then we get the Texans here in the Dome, who have given up some big games to a lot of receivers. Garrett Wilson went 108 against them. Garrett Wilson, I'll never understand how, with Zach Wilson throwing the ball. Sutton had 77. Then you have Ridley with 89. You have Jamar Chase, 124. Mike Evans, 87. Kate Otten, or sorry, Thielen, 72. I mean, all types of big wide receiver ones getting all types of run here against this Texans defense. And Cooper should be the next one here. So yeah, he's hit in 8 of 13 games this season. Last 2 games with Joe Flacco have been very, very nice. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna think he gets there. I also like the longest reception on here. It's 22 and a half. And let's see, what's longest reception? Is it not on there? Oh, here, longest reception, 22 and a half. Yep. They're 21 and a half on FanDuel, which he's hitting 2 of the last 3 games. So I do like a long play here for Amari Cooper. But for the most part, we're going to just take the over 60 and a half reception yards over on BetMGM. Let me know what your favorite prop of the week is. Make sure you guys leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. We're going to be here for another 5 minutes or so. All right, and the last one I think is absolute and a great smash spot. We talked about this game for stacking purposes, and the Titans defense is a team defense that you want to target. And I'm going to go with the guy that basically won the game for him. I know JSN was all about it, but we're going to go DK Metcalf over 50 and a half receiving yards, minus 115 over on BetMGM. Let me pull up that OccuProp radar once again. And this one was pretty wild. Oop, if it goes. There it goes. Because you got FanDuel just doing some weird stuff. Total receiving yards. All right, let me pull that up real quick. All right, we got total receiving yards. So it's 60 and a half for BetMGM, Caesars, and DraftKings. And then it's FanDuel saying it's 66 and a half. Sorry, so it's 60 and a half. It was 58 and a half literally when I made this 5 minutes before the stream. So it actually has gone up. So the public has gone up on them. I don't mind it. We'll play it at 60 and a half. I'm good with that. But FanDuel at 66 and a half was like, what are we doing? And then you got points, but at 65 and a half. It was everybody was like 8 yards below FanDuel. So I know FanDuel sets their own stuff and they like to be industry standard leaders and everything like that. But I agree with that line because I think this game, this line goes over. You have DK Metcalf cashing this in 4 of his last 6 games. He was kind of irrelevant until the last drive, which probably scares a little bit. But I'm going back to just the matchup in general. Geno likes to target DK as well, and the Tennessee defense has given up the 6th most receiving yards to the wide receiver this year, with just huge games against him. Mike Evans went 143 last week. Deontay went 90. You have Mark Andrews went 69. Multiple other, Josh Downs 97, Amari Cooper 116, Jamar Chase 73, Keenan Allen 111. I think if you can take the top off this defense, which DK Metcalf can, he's in a great spot. Great spot. So do not mind the DK Metcalf 60, or sorry, I'll judge it at 60 and a half. I actually bet it at 58 and a half, but I'll judge it at 60 and a half. That's what it says on stream. Sometimes we get that with doing them at 9 in the morning. Alrighty. Now we'll go to our pick to click, our anytime touchdown, which last week was Bijan, and it cost me, I think, $2,000. And we had a 5-leg touchdown parlay that we had for the Discord. My pick to click was Bijan. Obviously, put him in that 5-leg, and they give it to Cordell Patterson. And I even said it on stream. I said there's going to be 1 touchdown in this game probably because it was nasty weather, and I said it needs to be Bijan being the first touchdown. Well, there's 1, but it was fucking Cordell Patterson. I could not believe it. Unbelievable. Arthur Smith had nightmares of that guy this week. All right, so let's pull up this week's pick to click, and we are going to go to that Packers Carolina game. We're going to target that Carolina defense one more time. I think that's the way to go. So we're going to go Aaron Jones plus 163 over on Caesars. Anytime score. You've got that roller coaster odds that I always talk about. 145 on BetMGM, 163 Caesars, 135 DK, 140 on FanDuel, 170. So I don't have points bet if you guys have ever watched the stream, but points bets at plus 170 if you want to take it over there. And then the first touchdown of the game, actually, it was plus 800 over on BetMGM. So now it went down to plus 700. So he's getting some love there. I will take that once again. So plus 800 first touchdown, and then plus 163 anytime touchdown Aaron Jones. He is in a obviously great spot against the Panthers, who give up the most rushing touchdowns in the NFL. And he should be one more week healthy. Dylan is coming back from, I think, that thumb injury. You should see a lot of Aaron Jones today in the passing game, a lot of Aaron Jones in the run game. And I think, like I said, I'm on the Packers. I think the Packers roll. I'm good with them and getting there with Aaron Jones. Maybe take the load off of Jordan Love just a bit. I think Aaron Jones is the X factor to this entire team. So let's get this play in. Let's get this anytime touchdown, pick the click, rolling. All right. Now let's get the anytime touchdown parlay to end the show. And if you guys have any other questions real quick, I'll stay till about 9:30. You have if you have DFS questions, start sit questions. If anybody in the chat, if you're still here, I'm gonna play. I think I have Devontae Smith, and Calvin Ridley. So let me know who you would play. Half point PPR, the wide receiver 3 position, basically. I have Jalen Hurts, so I had that Devontae Smith stack. I know his knee is a little bit banged up. I think he's okay. That guy usually doesn't miss much games whatsoever. So let me know in the chat. All right. So the anytime touchdown parlay, I got a good feeling about this one. We're going to go back with Aaron Jones. We're going to go Calvin Ridley, who's in a good spot. I know I just asked that question of who do you think. Maybe kind of playing both sides there. If I'm playing Smith, they get a touchdown from Ridley. And then you got Amon-Ra, St. Brown. If you want to sub Montgomery for this, it's just a little bit lesser odds. I think you're at like 1,200 or so. Don't mind that. But Jones, Ridley, and Amon-Ra. Or if you want to sub Amon-Ra for Sam Laporta, the guy just scored 3 touchdowns. I probably am off of him, but I don't mind someone going back to him. But yeah, Calvin Ridley should have multiple chances to score a touchdown today. With the man coverage of Tampa Bay, I think he can, to get past one of them, have a deep ball from Trevor Lawrence, make sure that Lawrence doesn't miss him here. But Jones, Ridley, and Amon-Ra, plus 14.25 for 0.1 unit. It's a lot also, but it's small on FanDuel. All right, let's recap real quick. We got the Packers minus 3.5. We have the Browns, Texans over 39.5. The 7-point teaser. Colts, you can get plus 9.5, plus 10. You can get Cardinals plus 11, and then you can get Vikings plus 9.5, plus 10. I'm fine with either one of those. Like all 3 of those spots to keep the game close. Laporta over 4.5 receptions. We got Amari Cooper over 60.5 receiving yards. DK Metcalf, we'll judge this at 60.5. We had 58.5 right before the stream, and it went up to 60.5 during the stream. So 60.5 is the play here. And then we got Aaron Jones plus 163. First touchdown of the game, plus 800. And then we got the Jones, Ridley, and Amon-Ra anytime touchdown parlay. All right, so we got our Week 16 best bets. We are going to build off of our 58 and 47 for plus 15.69 units. We're going to get after Week 16. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas tomorrow. There's 3 games tomorrow. I won't have a live stream, but if you guys want to join the Discord, I'll have all my plays in there for that. I'll probably do a free prop for each game, or one or we'll see how the day is going. Probably 1 or 2 for the Twitter members. But we'll get up on out of here. I appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week. Let's build off it and have a profitable Week 16. See you guys.